Hi, this is Clark from Modeler.us with another video unboxing. Today we have the humongous Trumpeter 132 scale MiG-23MLD Flogger-K, a stalwart of the Soviet Air Force from the late 60s to the late 80s. This is a humongous kit, so big and heavy. You can see here we have a couple of markings that it comes with. It comes with photo-etched parts, of course. A little brief description of the MiG-23. The MLD was apparently the ultimate version of the MiG-23. See all the different armament it comes with, variety of metal pieces, and of course the warning, this is not a toy. This is a big kit. 132 scale ends up being 54 centimeters long, 43 centimeters wide, with over 700 parts. Really big kit, really nice, thick, heavy kit. So let's see what we got here and check it out. As you can see out of the gate, this is just absolutely packed full of plastic. Could not be more full of plastic. So, if nothing else, we got lots of parts to play with. Out of the way. Here we have the first piece coming out. It's obviously the top of the plane. It holds the swing wings. See, the detail looks pretty good. Engraved panel lines, whole bunch of rivets, about what one would expect. Looks good. This little piece here. See, these appear to be the air intakes on the front. Let's go over this one here. We have here, this is nicely, this is all one sprue per bag. This is clearly the fronts up by the air intakes. Some very fine, very thin little pieces, a bunch of little pieces. This is like I said, a big model. It's 132 scale. They're going to pack a lot of detail into this kit. Out the way. Here we have look like engine parts. The cockpit. You can see this is right here. This is one sprue. Looks like it's just the seat. The seat sides. We have the seat itself, a cushion, the ejection handle. You can also see here, as Trumpeter will do, if they feel something is fragile or might get bumped around, they tend to pack it quite well as far as keeping things packed up softly. And you can see they put a little bubble wrap over those fine parts there. Away. And this is a good piece. This is obviously the front. This is the nose of the plane. You start to get a sense of the scale of this thing. That is just the front part. That's very impressive. This is going to be quite an airplane when we're done with it. We said the lines all look pretty good. A lot of detail. I think this is going to come out really nice if you paint it up nice. Let's go to the next layer here. Okay, we're moving into double sprue. This is two identical sprue in one bag. You can see this is mostly drop tanks, a lot of mounting points for underwing stores, two different kinds of drop tanks it looks like, or extra fuel tanks. This is two complete sets just in this one bag. They are identical, so you can make both sides, I assume. Way. Here is another double. See, there are two identical sprue in here, and this is all obviously missiles. This is quite a bit of the pieces in this kit appear to be armament, so this is actually quite nice. You can see there's quite a few extra fins. This piece, is all detachable fins. This is actually looks like they'll be pretty nice once they all go together. 132 scale missiles. Okay, here we go back to a single sprue in a bag. can see they've packed it up quite nicely with a little extra foam. Here we're getting into some more detail pieces, some little tiny wires. You can start to see some nice detail in the pieces. Some really nice little tiny wires and little pumps and whatnot. Very nice. Now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. So another bunch of little pieces. These are slightly larger because there's some tail fins, various wheels. So another just single sprue in a bag and a whole bunch of little pieces in here. Quite nice little detail. And this is what you get when you have a kit with 700 pieces. It's a lot of work, but boy, you can really pack it on. So this thing is going to look fantastic. Looks like we have, the side pieces for the cockpit is what that looks like. Those out of the way. Oh, looky here, we have more missiles. This thing is certainly heavily armed. And we'll go right here, and this is another. These are two identical sprue. This is two identical sprue. More missiles. Very nice. I'm sure that someone who knows more about this stuff will know exactly what these are. A bunch of really nicely molded 132 scale missiles. Good for all kinds of projects, I would guess. Looks like, here we go, even more. These are identical to these. So now you actually have 4 of these sprue. Missile, 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 missile. We're gonna run out of room here. Here. Looks like we have a few more kinds of drop tanks, various, looks like bombs of various kinds. This is a double. There are 2 sprue in here. More, looks like bombs and armaments. This thing is certainly heavily armed. To this. All right, here. Now we're getting down to some more airplane parts and away from some missiles. Here we have the engine pieces, clearly the engine halves. We have the nozzle at the back. Some really nicely molded engine piece here. It's really got some nice detail on it, as does this little piece here. So this is going to build up. I'm sure that you could super detail the heck out of this engine if you put your mind to it. Here, more airplane pieces. It's all the rear tail assembly. See, the detail looks good on that. It's going to put together the whole tail assembly there. There are 2 sprue in this bag. They are different. It's going to be the different control surfaces back there. Looks like we have another whole bunch of armor and weapons, a bunch of various guns, very serious looking weaponry. Up. Here we go, there's some more airplane pieces. This is obviously parts for the swing wing assembly, which does swing. We can see here they've done more packaging. Very friendly folks at Trumpeter have hooked us up. I don't know what's in there. I'm sure it's something quite fine and delicate. We will take a close look at that. And here we are with wings. 2 identical sprue in this bag for the 2 wings, the long control surfaces. You can see the teeth for the swing wing assembly. That's going to be the wings. Nice. Now let's get into the magic box of fun stuff. Okay, now we're talking. Move this box out of the way. It's another, and as if all those pieces are not enough, we have the little box of fun where they give you all the interesting stuff. So let's see what we have in here. See that? All right. Out of the gate, we have Appears to be clear pieces. Can't go wrong with transparent. Very nice and clear. Incredibly well packed. We have a big piece of plastic. This is obviously a large part of the fuselage. It's got the nice detail. I thought they would just throw that in there. Okay, we have some little fine parts for more guns. Those look like the fronts of some of the underwing guns. And another set of those same types of things. So the packaging on this is just top notch. They really take time and care to make sure that everything comes through. Here we have nozzles for the back for the jet engine, it looks like. All carefully packed. The requisite rubber tires. Let's see, we have 2 big ones and 2 little ones in this bag. All right, here we go. Now we're getting somewhere with the little bag of metal pieces. Quite a bit of that seems to be landing gear stuff, various struts. They look pretty good. I like the little white metal pieces. This is definitely something you would expect in a kit like this, and these all look very nice. Very impressive collection they give you on this one. See what we have here. More little tiny assembly pieces. These look very much in the family of the missiles and gun armament. Is that out of the way? Let's see what we have here. More clear. This is the cockpit or the control panel. A few other little clear pieces. You see that a lot on kits like this, is the clear control panel. Makes it nice, makes it easy to make a very realistic looking setup. Yet more clear. Some of this out of the way. Boy, this box is just packed full of stuff here. All right, we have more little clear bits, little markers. Another control panel for probably a different version, I would guess, or these look like pretty much the same piece. They gave you 2 of them. They are slightly different, but boy, not much. Maybe there's a different version. It's a 2-seater. 2 of those. Some nice plastic pieces. All right. And here we get down to the photo etch. You can see some very nicely detailed photo etch pieces. We have some nice seat belts, some nice looking stuff. The quality of photo etch these days is really very impressive to me. As you can see, this kit is no exception. It's nice. It's a good looking kit. There's a lot of detail here. All right, the instructions. Let's go and get out the stuff here. We got your advertisement. This is pretty impressive. This is a marking sheet for all the missiles and guns. This kit definitely, it takes its missiles and guns very seriously. You can see all the colors that they suggest you are going to need. And this is a nice full color sheet for the missiles. We have a whole bunch of decal sheets here, I assume for all the different versions. You can see these are the smaller kits. They have some numbers and the tiger face, the shark face. Here we have the control panel, decal, and a whole bunch of other tiny little markings, various Soviet stars. Talk about tiny markings. That is a very impressive set of tiny, incredibly detailed decals for, I assume, all the different versions you can make. That is a lot of work right there. Those of you guys who love decals, whew. And we have here another full color painting guide for the plane itself. You can see the top and bottom, the various, the camo scheme that they give you. And actually there is another one on the other side, which is slightly different marketings. This would be the Blue 7 from 1990. And this would be the, 1/20th September of 1989. We have the color list up here. And they give you several different companies. It's good. The construction sheet itself is, as one might expect, pretty hefty. 31 pages long, so not messing around. All the parts that we've just seen, including all the metal pieces, the PE, all the decal sheets we've just seen. Incredibly detailed cockpit here for straight out of the box. I'm sure you don't need anything aftermarket to make a very nice looking cockpit. You can see we have the seat belts construction here, which is in itself pretty complex. Got to put together the tub and all the sides. That's going to be nice. Landing gear, put together the front. Put together the air intakes, the swing wings. So there you go. You can see how these swing wings go together with the little gears. That is a pretty old school way of doing it, but that's how you would expect that to work. Together the power. Here we go. Here's that nice big engine we were looking at. All the little extra round pieces are going to give it a nice depth. Landing gear. Top goes on. Engine goes in. Here we go, the tail assembly. Here you go, adding all the landing gear. More landing gear stuff, doors, various markers, various little tiny, there's little PE sets that go on here, little pieces of PE to create all this detail. Whole bunch of detail back by the engine. Here we go, here's the canopy, and some of the clear parts we saw a little earlier. Here's the little cart. And you can see you can put so it's carting over the piece, so you could do a under construction diorama. Here's a whole bunch of instructions, I assume, for missiles and guns. Missiles and guns, missiles and guns. This kit does love its missiles. Drop tanks. And all the ways you can possibly hang all those things off this airplane. Very interesting. And then all the different combinations. This is a very good diagram. For as many options as they give you, it's a very useful diagram to have. There we have it. The Trumpeter 132 scale MiG-23MLD Flogger-K. It is a seriously large, heavy kit, 700 plus pieces. Come check out more galleries and all kinds of more information at modeler.us. Thanks for watching.